board there. Not bad to look at. Oops.
Well, I just threw it away so it's not away.
Hi, everybody. We are live. What did I drop? Oh, I just dropped a book. That's all. Hello, hello. Happy Monday. It is Monday. We have a Monday jumpstart on a Monday. That's awesome. I know. It's only been a couple of weeks, so let's not get excited. Hi, Margie. So glad to see you here. Candy is with me.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, Sandy. Happy joy. It's a good week for Sandy. Well, end of the week, maybe. Hello, Cookie Crumble. Yeah, cookies. Hi, Linda. Happy to see you. How are things in your corner of the world? Hey, Penny. I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon to Penny and you guys back east. It's noon here, so I guess I could claim morning or afternoon. But for you, it's definitely afternoon. Hello, Dawn Marie. Hey, y'all, it's 2, and I'm just getting up to my craft room today. Well, it's a good thing we had Jumpstart then to drag her out of bed and up to her craft room.
Yeah.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Christy in Texas is 1. She's right in between us, 1 o'clock. Well, that's the same time you're on, right? 1 o'clock?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see here. What's not to love? It's Monday and I'm retired, so no work. Yay. That's right. You can do whatever you darn well please. I love it.
Ever.
Whatever. Until you have a grandson that comes over and now you don't get to do whatever you darn well please.
That's so fun, though. He's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't turn a cute little grandkid like him away.
Well, I can when he's in the mood, but anyway.
Oh, well, now that you're feeling better, no tolerance because you're feeling better. Last week, good thing he wasn't there.
Yeah.
Oh, so how's everybody? Everybody sounds pretty good. Linda's good. It is really good to see everybody. Oh, yeah, Linda, aren't those stamps awesome? Christy sent Linda some happy.
Yeah, those stamps are awesome. I've used them a couple times.
Oh, they are pretty awesome. I've been thinking about some things with those, Christy. We need to put our heads together and think through some things here and figure this out for you. Okay, I'm pretty excited about today. If am I showing enthusiasm or am I dragging butt?
A little of both.
A little of both.
She's been up all night. It's going to be a fun day today. See how crazy she gets.
We are not doing a tutorial today. I have not slept. No, I have not slept all night long.
Christy's daughter got engaged. Do you like him? I won't say congratulations, so I know you like him.
Okay. Oh, she says now going to be in-laws, can't wait. So that's good. That means she likes him. Congratulations, Christy. That is most awesome. Glad that he's an in-law that you want to have in the family. That is so cool.
That makes it better. That makes it so much better.
Oh, that is very cool. My throat
I tend to like.
I know I only have one opportunity with one son, so it's a good thing we love her. My throat started to hurt this morning, so I'm sucking on a zinc drop. I don't think I'm getting anything.
And he's high.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we should bring her on. Her and you together, I can have fun today.
Sandy, want to come on live? Get the camera going and get your washi at your table. And message Candy when you're ready and send the link. We can always bleep her out like, oops, she's gone if it gets too bad. Hi, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
Oh, hang on just one second. I forgot to send you a message. I forgot to tell you ahead of time, so let me send it in private chat.
Oh, let me find my mouse. Oh, man. Hey, Glennis.
Okay. All right, there we go. That's in private message there. I forgot to tell you ahead of time. Hey, Glennis! Happy Monday! Glad to see you as well. Did everybody have a good weekend? Sandy, do you really want to come in? Yeah, we'd love to have some with you high on your back pills and me no sleep.
I could have fun.
I thought about messaging Glennis in the middle of the night, thinking, half the time she's up half the night, and then I thought, no, this would be the night.
Do that, they're not up. Yeah.
This would be the night she's sleeping.
Because I thought about doing that the other night because I was up all night Saturday night.
So I waited till 6:30 before I messaged her. You were all up Saturday night. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah,
I did get a little sleep on Saturday night. Yeah. No, I don't know. I was in here prepping for this morning, and I started watching a couple videos, and I started cleaning some things, and then doing some other stuff, and thinking about some stuff for retreat. And all of a sudden, Doug walks in and says, "Honey."
Come in at 3 o'clock.
Like, what the what? And I'm like, I'm fine. And he's like, have you even been to bed? I said, no, I'm not tired yet. Yep. He said, it's 6 o'clock. I'm getting up to go to work.
Yeah, he come in at, I want to say it was like 3:20. He pokes his head in, and the door opens, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, really.
I had it shut so I don't disturb my son because he, they don't keep the late hours I do.
Right.
And he goes, are you okay? I'm not tired.
No, but what's new? Well, hello. Is this a Miss Waters or Mr. Waters? C. Waters? Is that my eyes are straining. Puppies? Is that puppies I see there?
Hell. Yeah.
Looks like a couple dogs. Well, hello, welcome. So glad that
you texted Dawn on Saturday night. She said she was awake.
So that's who I can message in the middle of the night. Would you like to tell us your name so we know what to call you? We love to address people by their actual name or what they would like to be called. So introduce yourself.
Like a cat.
A cat. I think it was a dog. I don't know for sure. I think it was.
I'm with Julie. It looks like a cat from way back here, but like I said, it's way back here. I can't really. Hey, kitty, it's Carrie. Hey, Carrie.
It is a kitty, and it's Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
From far away, I think you can see it better.
Well, I was looking at the ears, and they looked big enough to be like German Shepherd ears. So.
First timer. Oh, we like first timers.
Yeah. Okay, Christy. I should have known. I could message Christy in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Usually, if I message Christy, whenever she's up to. So
yeah. I usually don't know what. So if I'm awake, even if I'm not, my stuff is turned off. So
yeah.
After.
Sandy, welcome to the zoo.
Yeah, it is the zoo.
Carrie, we are so glad you're here. Welcome. I'm so glad that you jumped in and just said hi instead of, feeling that you don't know people and staying back and watching. We love it when people are new and jump in and just start participating because you are now part of the Happy Paper People family. Just like that. It doesn't take long to get in this family if you're an awesome person. So we'll be gentle this time. Oh, no. This
for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So a little prep, Carrie. There is a lot of snark here. You will find a snark brigade, but there is nothing mean, underhanded, or nasty, to people. We don't do that. We don't do drama. We don't do mean. We don't do any of that. But there's a lot of snark among friends.
It's snark. It's a snark meme.
Oh, she's a light owl too. Awesome. And I don't usually stay up all night. And we know
So
that
this is gonna be fun.
we know that my brain runs a million miles an hour anyway. And then if I'm up all night, haven't had any sleep, yeah, Candy's all she's all ready for this because
I got my recorder recording.
Who knows where my brain and mouth are going when I haven't had any sleep. Snark us never. Okay.
Never, ever.
So you all know that, okay, this zinc cough drop is making my mouth kind of weird and my tongue doesn't want to work right.
Your tongue never works right.
Damn. Oh, good. Carrie's going to be part of the Snark Brigade. I love it. I love it. We are in 2023. You are at HPP. And this is the year of using scraps, which we've been doing a lot of, and forgotten supplies. Today is a forgotten supply day. I would not say washi is a forgotten supply so much as an unused supply. Would you agree?
Yes.
I mean, we can always see it.
I kind of forget I have it until I'm finished. I'm like, oh,
I don't think I have it. I've got a ton of it. It's here. It's everywhere. You know, I can see it, but I don't think about it. I don't think about using it. So I think it's more of a forgotten supply than an unused supply than a forgotten supply. So real quickly, there is still time to get in the February prompt challenge. Carrie, if you haven't already, join Happy Paper People Facebook group. And we have a challenge every month. And in February, it is to make something, anything you want, using red, paper strips, lace, and vellum or tracing paper. Anything you want. Bonus chance in the drawing if you use something found in Grandma's attic. So what you do is post your make in the group with the hashtag HPP for Happy Paper People, FEB for February prompts. The last day of the month, we will pull all of these hashtags. We will do something to do a random drawing, to kind of do it different every month. And one person will win $10, which they can use at one of our live sales, which we will have coming up, or on the website. Either way, their choice. Absolutely, however they want to do it. I'm just getting my autofocus off there. There we go. Okay. So don't forget.
Attic does not mean the paper pad. I mean, I used the paper pad because I had it, but it's an item that you can find.
It could be. It could be. Yeah. So this is totally your interpretation. So you could use Grandma's Attic, the Minte new paper pack, and you could even just fussy cut one thing out of it to use on whatever you're doing. Yeah. You could use something that is literally from your grandma's attic, or you could use something.
If you don't like red, just put like a red bow on it that you can take back off.
A little red heart that you can pull off. Just set it on for the picture.
I've done that.
Oh, you're giving away your secrets now. This could be something that could be or would be found in Grandma's attic. So all of these things are your interpretation. So the red could be a red pen that you're writing something with very small. It could be just a little mark making. It doesn't have to be great, big, and prominent, as long as you use all these things. And then when you write the post, write that you use the bonus. So we make sure that you get in the drawing twice for that. $10 is $10, people. We give stuff away. Real actual money, not just, oh, congratulations, you won. Yours was really nice. And then any and all videos that are here on Happy Paper People YouTube channel, you want to comment on any or all of them, leave a comment, and in the comment put hashtag 1000 subs. If you just put hashtag 1000 subs, YouTube tends to pull that comment out and discard it because it thinks you're a bot. Or a spammer, or, one of those sorts of things. So if you leave an actual comment, it doesn't have to be super long, but, we love it when you leave a comment about the video. That would be awesome. And then put the hashtag in with it. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, we are immediately going to pull all of the hashtags that are on the YouTube channel. So then it'll be too late to go back and watch them and put them on there. There are a couple people that have been very diligent in putting them on, and you have plenty of time right now to go in and get your comments on the videos with the hashtag. But I have a box down here under my desk that is filled with more than $450 worth of craft supplies, and it is packed, sealed, ready to be labeled. And that is going to go to somebody who is drawn randomly from those hashtags. You will get a chance in the drawing for every single hashtag you leave throughout the channel all time. So you can start the videos now and go all the way back to the beginning of the channel, watch every video, comment on every video, leave the hashtag, and get yourself, I don't know, a gazillion entries in the drawing.
Okay, Angie's come in, and so is Cheryl Goble.
Hey, Angie. Happy to see you. Hi, Cheryl. Mine, Glennis says. Welcome, Cheryl. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so now that the business...
No, that box is coming to Louisiana, people.
You know, if we get on top of this, maybe if the winner's coming to retreat, they could take it home with them.
Oh.
You know, or open it and use what they want, and then I'll send it to their house so they don't have to drag it back with them. But you know, that'd be fun. They can even open it on the live if they want to. North Carolina. She's not sending to Canada. Sorry, Glennis. Texas. Carrie, we do have the Happy Paper People Retreat coming up in April. If you would like more information about that, just, you know, say something in the chat. And we have information in the Facebook group, actually. So if you join the Facebook group, then we'll get you all the information on that, because everyone is coming to the retreat by themselves. But by the time you get there, you will know everybody else who's coming and be best friends. And when you leave, you'll have a whole bunch of brand new best sister friends. So I have a chat group that is only for those people going to retreat. So by the time we get to retreat, everybody knows everybody quite well. And it's a lot of fun.
Canada with
Ontario.
Ooh.
She's not sending. Oh, you're in Ontario? Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I heard you. And then it actually
connected, ladies.
Yeah, it took a minute for it to connect, but it cut out on Ontario, and I heard you say Canada.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't hear where. I just heard Canada. But Glennis. Glennis, do you know Carrie? Because she's in Canada.
Yeah, okay. Here's your sign.
I know. Don't you love when people do that? Oh, you live in Louisiana. Do you know so-and-so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Silly.
I want to be able to tell somebody, yeah, that's my neighbor.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool? That'd be really cool. Glennis is coming down from Canada to the retreat because I'm in Utah, and Ontario, that's pretty darn close over here too, I believe, if I've got my country laid out right. Because Glennis is straight above me in Calgary. So I think Ontario is very close there. Hopefully I've got my Canada right in my head.
It's rolling on the floor. Well, if you're rolling now, you're going to be really have trouble later. The kids started, Harry.
Who's rolling on the floor? Oh, so Carrie, we'd love to have you come down and have two Canadians here, eh? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with.
I don't know. You're on the show.
This thing, it is so organized that it's scary. I was up all night. Remember, this is yes. So let me look.
Nope. She said.
What? Why? Why? Because there's snow. That's why it's in April, because it's not cold and it's not hot. The weather is perfect, and you know what the Rocky Mountains look like. They're beautiful too. Okay, I'm gonna move. Hang on. I have everything so nicely organized right next to me, and I have lists and everything. So okay, so the title of this was 10 or more, because it depends how many we can get to. I've got a whole bunch. I got lots of ideas to use washi. So I have a whole bunch that we're going to start. Oh, is Ontario on the total other end of?
Yeah, closer. I was going to say.
Oh gosh, why am I thinking that? Never mind. Never mind.
Geography is,
Never mind. Okay, I've been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, my grandson lives in Buffalo.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that Ontario was a little farther north than Calgary, but still kind of sort of a straight shot up, but like maybe a state over. Oh, well, that's okay. Dawn Marie's coming from North Carolina. She's cleared the other end. Penny's coming from Tennessee. And then there's those people from down south. Okay, what are we going to start? We're going to start with this one. Oh, so organized. It might be too organized. Now that's scary.
I don't believe that for a minute. I've seen your disaster. I don't believe that for a minute.
No. Look at this. There's our list.
Kathy's from Buffalo originally. Yeah, my
hi,
actually
Kathy.
like an hour. I think an hour and a half north. He's up in up by Utica, actually.
Yeah, but you got to fly, Carrie.
Airport that we go to for them.
You definitely got to fly, Carrie. No driving down. No, yeah, there is still a lot of snow there in April, and so you
join our group.
You want to go west. You want to go west to Utah where it's nice and warm. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do with washi, I think we're going to use a Tim Holtz for this. That one would be good. We'll use that one.
So Calgary by 2 provinces, you said.
Yeah, I know that now. I realize that now. Okay, one of my favorite ways to use washi is to use it as ribbon on the tops of tags. This is washi, not ribbon. Okay, so you can top tags with it. I'll show you how to do it. Super easy. And sometimes you like the color of your washi and it will go with things, but you don't like the design. And when you do this, you can then just go to the color, and you can even make these short so you really don't see any design. So these are some of the photo slides that we made last week. And so I've got a tag inside each of them. This one has the slot hole. This one has the regular tag hole there, like that one. And this one actually has a little tag stuck in the front, a little tiny one there. So we may or may not do that one. Yeah, doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter what kind of hole it is on the top, you can do this. So let's start with this one, which is the standard hole. And we're going to use, and this is a Tim Holtz paper. So I thought a Tim Holtz washi would be good and grungy to go with that. When I'm doing this, I don't prefer to use a really thin washi. Like I probably wouldn't use like this. I can make that work, but it's not my favorite. You can go I wouldn't use a thick one like this, much too difficult and way too wide to go through the holes. But you could use any kind of.
Is it? No.
This one is.
That one is.
This one is. It's out of this.
Oh.
This
which set if you want to know?
Yeah. Which set? I don't know. It doesn't. Let me get in the light here. Remnants. Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 of them still in there. The rest have already been taken out and mingled with my other washi. But this one and this one is not. I think this one and this one. Those 4 are, I believe they're from Remnants. We've sold a lot of that Tim Holtz tape, and a lot of times it doesn't sell. And I've sold these things for like $5 for the whole thing, and he sells them for like 13. So
you haven't sold any that I've been on.
I have. It might have been a year or more, but maybe it's been 2 years then.
I was gonna say, wow.
But I haven't gotten any more because a lot of times they didn't sell, even when I was just selling them for $5. And I'm like, wow. Yeah,
I'd have bought them for $5.
Yeah, you would have. So I know you weren't here. Okay,
Yeah.
where's the one I had? I'm going to use this one. It's not the thickest. It's not the thinnest. It's just kind of a standard. So I'm going to pull a length that, if I double that and have room through, I know I'm going to cut it off and just, pull a little bit of a length. And then I'm going to fold it in half. This is so super easy. Just fold it in half. Stick it down. Now, I do have some washi tape. All right, confession. I have so much washi tape, it's absolutely ridiculous. I've been collecting it forever and obviously haven't been using it as fast as I've been collecting it. So some of it either is no longer sticky or never was very sticky. If there's a thing like that and it's, just leave it. The end's going to get cut off anyway. It doesn't even matter. So some of it is not sticky. If I really wanted to use one that was not super sticky doing this, I'd put a tiny bit of glue right down it just so this would stick together and stay together. Okay, so by folding that in half, I have just created washi ribbon. And I'm going to fold it in half. I like it with the folded side up. I'm going to put it through the hole. Now it's actually a little bit bigger than the hole. And if it was even bigger, I would just take this and kind of fold it in half to put it through the hole. Okay. Once
Tara Cecil, yeah, come in. Hello, Tara.
Hi, Tara. Hi, welcome. Once it's through the hole, I like to have the left side, a little fiddly, left side like folded out to the left and the right side folded out to the right. And you'll see why, instead of having them kind of stay together. And that's just Marianne being purposeful. So that's all.
Easier to staple it.
Huh?
It'd be easy to staple it.
It would be easy to staple it, and that's another way to do it. Absolutely. And okay, so I just put it through there, and I'm going to stick this through. And you don't have to be as purposeful.
Tara posted 7-pocket folio in the group. I'll have to go look.
Sweet. Okay, yeah, we'll have to check that out. And then, and it's pretty slick. It's the outside of the washi. What?
Margie says you're picky.
No, I'm just, as Candy tells me, I'm purposeful sometimes. Because deliberate, that's the word. Deliberate, because sometimes I want it to lay a certain way. Like this. Once it's over here. Now, the way it's laying.
For me, I just staple it.
Okay, on normal days when Marianne's had some sleep, it doesn't take that long to put through, but yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
there it is.
I would have never thought to do that either, Julie. It's pretty cool. I'll have to try it with a staple.
But you can staple it too. Don't even make the hole, just staple it.
Or sew it, I'll sew it on.
Sew it is good too. I put just a tiny bit of glue in there and just press it down. That'll help. It'll hold it. As soon as it dries, it'll hold it. Okay, and then I'm going to take a scissor while I'm holding that.
Julie, that's way too fiddly. Julie said you could fold it in half and braid it. Fold it in thirds and braid it. Yeah, no. 3 and 3
you have to cut it in thirds to braid it.
Yeah, no, ain't braiding. No.
No, that's too long. Just a little too long. Okay, there we go. I mean, that's, it's simple. It's simple. So this one that has the slot, since this has roses on it, I have this washi that is black and white with black roses on it. That would be pretty. Yeah, I'm noticing that I don't work as fast or as coordinated without any sleep. Oh, no, not as coordinated without any sleep. And if it gets a wrinkle in it because it gets laid a little wonky, don't worry about it. Really, it's just not that big of a deal. Okay. Okay. This one, I'm going to put it through sideways. Okay. And then do the exact same thing. I'm just going to pull it over. I'm going to bring these two up. I'm going to put them through. And it's just quick and easy like that. And that's how it should go. And that's how I like it to lay right there. And so for me, the folded side is to the top. Doesn't really matter if you don't want to be that deliberate. Doesn't matter. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If it's a nice card like this, roses, then I probably will. If it's grungy, I probably don't care because that adds to the grungy look. So give it a little bit of glue to hold, and let's make us some. Here we go. There's your tag. And you do the same thing on this little teeny tiny one. Just make it smaller. So the hole is the same size. So it doesn't even matter. You know, if you make a smaller hole, if you use a tiny tag and you make a tiny hole, that's where I would use a thin washi. That's going to be very fiddly folding it in half, but you can do it. It will work. It's just quite fiddly. All right, so that's number one. Can you keep track of the numbers for me as I say them, because I'll forget what the last one said.
Okay.
Number one.
I can't even find my tiny attacher. What in the world?
Actually, I have a pen. I'm going to write number one next to that one because we did it. Okay. So let's move these guys out of the way. And let's go to number two. Okay. Too bad Sylvia isn't here. This one was for Sylvia and for everyone who likes to letter or calligraphy or do something that looks fancy, but you're not really, okay, this is me. Sometimes I want something that looks fancy, but I'm really not a, what's the word? I don't do calligraphy and the writing in that way. I don't know how. I would like to. I think it looks so cool, but I really don't know how. So maybe I'll learn. Maybe Sylvia will teach me. But this is for those of us, well, either if you know how to do it and you could do something really fancy, or you don't know how to do it, but you want something that looks kind of fancy. So the way to split a word and be able to write something inside, like happy paper people rock. If you do Bible journaling, this is something that if maybe you're journaling a scripture, you know, Ephesians, whatever chapter and verse, then you could journal the verse, and then you could write Ephesians this way, and then right in here you put the chapter and verse. It's just a little, variation from the norm. So I'm going to grab this washi, and this is one, I do like this washi, but this is one I would use washi that you don't really care for, that you want to use up and get rid of. It's hard to just throw things away, but if you use it up, then you've used it up, right? So I'm going to put it right down the middle of where I want to write. And this one isn't super sticky. I guess depending on what you're putting it on, whether you go super sticky or not. Well, that rubber band just blew out. Okay. I'm going to start with the teal of this. And what should I write? What should I write? I'll write candy. I'll write candy this time. I already wrote Marianne. So let me write candy. Okay. So honestly, I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just literally writing candy. Just great big giant letters. And I'm using a brush tip and just putting it on its side. And I might have wanted that tape a little bit lower, but I'm going to work with it. Either that or I would have wanted to start a little bit higher. And I didn't, so it's okay. I mean, it all works. It's just where your eye wants to see it. And I'm no calligrapher or letterer. I don't even know what it's called. But Sylvia is, and that's why I thought she might like this one. But it's fun. Okay, so that's going to be dry immediately. That's no particular type of marker, just as long as it's a brush marker. I would probably do something that dries quickly or something that's permanent, makes it a little easier. And you could just leave it like that. You could just do it in black. I kind of like the black as the accent, so I put it in the teal or the turquoise, and then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to do the black. So you see right over the top of the washi, so you don't have to stop and try to figure out where do I go, how do I leave the space, where do I go from here. You just write right over the top of it, and it makes it a whole lot easier to make a letter.
Christy said that she loved making the photo tags. That was a great tutorial. She said.
Oh, cool. I like that one too. That was
Margie said, you can tell you're sleep deprived.
Margie, you know me too well.
Hi, Sarah.
I'm not even going to ask how or why.
You couldn't think of the word.
Hi, Sarah. Welcome. Okay, now the D's a little more awkward. I'll come back here and just make that a little wider. So, I mean, it's just, this is nothing professional. This is just, I would doodle in an art journal. This is something I would do in an art journal, literally. Okay. So you write whatever you're going to write, and then remove your washi, and boom. I mean, and I could take this and move it down and do another word. It's still, I mean, it's not very sticky. It's not very sticky to start with, but it still has enough stick to do that. It is kind of cool washi, though. I might save it. I might be able to use it on one of the later ones as decor. Okay, Candy, what are we going to write in the middle? Candy rules. Margie knows what sleep deprived feels like, and she can tell that I feel like that. Candy what, guys? What should I write in Candy?
The peanut gallery.
Say it again.
I said no comments from the peanut gallery. Oh, man. Oh.
There you go. I should have started. If I started right here, it would have fit perfectly. I don't know why. I started over here, I guess, thinking it probably wouldn't be that long, but it was. So if I would think about it, I started this one inside because I knew it wouldn't go the whole length. But if I start that one over here, it would have been the perfect length. No comments from the peanut gallery. What's Sandy say? Yeah, Snark Master. President Snarky. Yeah, no comments.
That's Margie.
President Snarky. Okay, that is number 2, masking the center of a word. Okay, let's go to number 3. Now, I know there's tons and tons of ways to use washi, and I know that some of these might have you think of other ways that you've used washi, and I'm not going to hit the normal ways. My plan here is not to go to the normal ways that y'all use it, that y'all know how, use it to whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to hit ways that, hoping that in here, at least that you can find a couple that maybe you haven't done before that you can add to your repertoire. That's the idea, not to go back over everything that you already know and have already done. Okay, so the next one is making tag backgrounds.
I picked a washi that's pulling the paper up. Imagine that.
Oh, so pretty sticky.
I guess so.
So tag backgrounds, there is just a variety of ways to do them. This one, they're put at a diagonal. And this is just what was sitting on my desk, what was in here. So I just dumped it out and started using them. And then I have some black and white. I have black and white washi in here. And so I did just a black and white one, straight up and down. And then this one, I went straight across. So you can look at those and see what direction do you like the best, or is there something else that you would prefer? Okay. And then again, these are topped with washi ribbon. Okay, so when I'm doing this, we'll do one, and let's use some of those 4 Tim Holtz ones and that one. Let's see if there might be another. That one's a little wide. This one might look cool with it. We'll see. Okay, when I'm doing this one, I think that it is really important to put some glue down first. Washi, okay, here's one right here that needs a little bit of glue. I didn't get glue all the way to the edge right there. So I guess I should have started out by saying, if you don't know, washi is Japanese paper tape. Okay, and its purpose, its intention, the reason it was created was to put down and be able to lift up again. I can't tell you how often people tell me, I don't like washi tape. It doesn't stay. It doesn't stick where I put it. And I realized then that they just have never learned or been told or seen whatever what washi really is. That is the literal meaning and purpose of washi is to be able to put it down and lift it up again. It is not intended to stay. It is not intended to be permanent. I think I'm just doing that randomly, and now I think about it, I think I'm going to go this direction. So if you want it to be permanent, whether it's on an embellishment or a tag like this, you need to put some adhesive underneath it and make sure that it is permanent. Okay, just know washi's not intended to be permanent. I know
put stuff over it. You can also put like
yes, some of them are yeah. Once you're done with this, you could seal it with Mod Podge or a gloss or a matte medium. And it gets kind of slippery on the glue. So as soon as the first one is down, and I'm not going to worry if it goes over the edge, that's fine because I'll trim it off. So as soon as the first one is down, it's now glued to, or glued, it's now stuck to my desktop, which is exactly what I want. So I'll just tear that off there. Okay. So yeah, if you want it to be permanent, you need to do something to make it permanent. And I might have a little bit too much glue, but it doesn't matter. It will just be well stuck. Just know washi is not intended to be permanent. That's why we use it to hold things down and lift them up and move them around, to hold paper while we're putting it through the die cutting machine, all of those things. And it's wonderful for that because it doesn't tear up our paper and our images, when we just want to hold something down temporarily.
Yeah, it's good for that.
What?
It's good when you're wrapping a gift.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially if you know that wrapping paper is usable and that the person might use it. If not, then you're going to ask for it back to take it home if they're going to throw it away. But yeah, great for that because it's not going to tear it all up when you take it off. So, yeah. So, you know how I feel about embellishments. When you pull embellishments off that little card they come on from the company and they have that sticky back, I don't trust it because it's not going to last. You put it on just like that, it's going to come up. So add a little bit of adhesive to it. Do the same thing with I was thinking I should have put this in the middle. It's small, and then put another one out here. But I want this one on here, so I'm going to put it right there. No, I'm not, because that's just too little bit of a space left. So I'm going to use the widest one, knowing that I'll cut some off. There we go. Okay, they can overlap if you want. Okay, so because I put that glue on the whole card, and it starts to, that was barely art glue, and so it starts to dry right away. So now there's some lumpy, bumpy things underneath here because the glue is drying right away. So I just take a bone folder, and you could use this one. You could use, one of these. Doesn't matter. I've done it either way. And
Marcy says don't try to tape your kid's mouth with it, though. They get it off too easy.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work to tie up your husband's wrists, and it doesn't work to tape your kid's mouth. You're going nowhere. You'll be frustrated. So just do that. That gets all those little lumpy bumpies out real nicely. I've got some glue stickies because I put probably a little too much glue on there, which is okay.
I use glue stick for it. It don't get
glue stick works great as well. This is actually pulled that out to use that. This is a good place for the glue stick. It works very, very well. Another just side note, another good thing about washi is wide washi or a short stack of washi sitting on your desk. It's great to hold glue sticks. It's great to hold what is it? Adhesive glue. So I have all three of my Stamperia, my art glitter glue, and my Barely Art are all standing here in a roll of washi, and it's perfect because none of them are full. So I tried to keep them upside down so that there's washi there, and it's also really good for holding blending tools. So now, there it is. Let me put this away before I lose it all. Turn that one upside down. And grab my sharp pointed tweezers from the subscription box. These are the best. I love these sharp pointy tweezers. I use them for so many things. I don't think there's ever a time that I sit down to craft that I'm not using these tweezers for something or other. And they're perfect just to put under here and slide down and get that washi up. I don't have to sit and scrape at it with my fingernails. And all I need to do is get one end up, and then the rest of it will pull. And then get the adhesive off. And then I'll set it aside for just a minute and let it dry. So any adhesive that squeezed out the end, then I'm not going to get it on my scissors.
Yeah, Dawn Marie says you should use it on the paper on the subscription box.
Use what?
Washi tape.
Oh, washi. Well, I won't use it on the box because it wouldn't hold it closed.
She meant the tissue paper.
But on the tissue paper, yes. I'm actually working on washi stickers. I really like a sticker there that says thank you because I want you to know how much I appreciate you.
I'm sure they have washi tape that says thank
you. But yeah, I'm working on a washi tape that is the sticker that says thank you instead of, now that's a cool strip. So I might just stick that over here. Hang on to that. Instead of the sticker that we've had. Yeah, last time we did the live box opening, Margie said a washi sticker. And so I started the search for that.
I'd still have trouble getting it off, ladies.
Nah. Okay. And if you think it looks funny when you have all those on there, it always looks better when you cut them off. Now, I think this looks a little interesting because that was all really light, see-through, transparent washi. Yeah, and I put it on that manila folder. I can see through it. So even this black and white looks different, but that's a really interesting color that's, behind there. So, and then all you do is punch your hole, and then I would choose one of these washis to use as my ribbon topper. Okay, there's our slot hole. Let's see, is that long enough? Nope, it's not long enough to double over. So maybe I'll use this one that I did not get to use. It's it's not super long, and the whole thing will go through that hole, and it is like film strip. So I'll show you how I would do it if it's not long, wide. I said it's not super long. I mean, it's not super wide. So if it's not super wide and you don't want to fiddle with folding it in half and the sides, that would make it way too thin. It would really look funky on that tag to have one that's so thin because it's a large tag. Then all you do is pull off a strip twice as long, stick that end down there, and go somewhere in the middle and just fold it in half. And all I really need to do is get that first edge lined up, and then the rest of it lines up quite easily. Usually. No guarantees on anything today. Oh, man. And if it doesn't line up perfectly, no big deal. If there's a bunch hanging over, I might just grab a blending brush and put a little ink on it so it doesn't look white. But there we go. Okay, so now it's doubled up. I can use it as my ribbon, but it's also wide enough. It's wider than the one we used before, which is okay because we've got this wide slot here. So I'm going to go ahead and put it through there. Okay, it just barely goes through, but it does go through. So that's all I need to know, is that it does go through the width without it.
They're asking if you sell that slot punch.
I'm trying to get one at a decent price, and I might have already ordered that one. I have a bunch of things for our next sale that I got right before Christmas, and I don't remember exactly what's in that box.
Tara said you can make a master board of different washi tape and then cut out.
Yes.
Yes, you can do that too. Yep.
Yes, so you could do individual tags, or you could do a full sheet, like open up a file folder and do the whole file folder, and then just turn it over to the back and cut it into. In fact, we had a tag workshop one time, and we used a template like this on a file folder and showed you how to get a ton of tags out at the same time very quickly. So you could washi it, flip it over to the other side, use your template, and get you a whole bunch of tags out very quickly. And they would all be the same washi unless you vary it as you go across. So, but if you want to mass make tags, that's okay, because you'd want, 10 of each kind. Oops. A little bit of glue in there. I always put too much. I always do.
Already.
I don't.
Put matte medium on mine and it dries dry already.
Nice. I don't worry about using too much. I mean, not that I want to, but I just always seem to squeeze too much glue out. I don't know why. Maybe it's a deep-seated fear that it won't actually glue together.
Glue stick out.
So I'll just take a wet wipe, a baby wipe, and wipe the extra off. Okay. So that is number 3, and that is making tag backgrounds with washi. So move those over, get that out of the way, get all the glue off my fingers. Write number 3 beside that one, and go to the next one. Okay, here's an easy one. This one is making page tabs. So,
Yeah, I love making page tabs.
yeah. So this is just a scrap of cardstock. It's got some ink on it. Doesn't matter. Um, I like this one. You can use. I like to use the wide ones for page tabs. You can use thin ones, and collage them side by side, just like we did the tags. That works just fine as well. This one, actually, I don't want to do this on cardstock. I'm going to do this on regular paper. And because this might be transparent, I'm not going to put it on this side. I don't want to see it through it. I'm going to go on the other side. And let's see if I can get this up whole. Yeah, another confession. I've had some of these washi for a very long time and have never even used them. I actually have 2 or 3 of this one, and this particular one obviously has never been used. So some of them are a little bit harder to get started. Here's one tip. When you're getting started and it's tearing everywhere like this, instead of keep pulling it straight, because then it just keeps tearing that same strip, grab one side of it and pull it. Yeah, okay, great. Then it tears over there. That's not what it does. And pull it gently.
Just cut a few times. It'll be fine.
This way and towards you. So I'm not just pulling it that way. I'm pulling it towards me and that way. And what it does is start to open it up, but it also grabs slowly the rest of the roll, and it will bypass that tear. So right there, as soon as I'm past that tear, then I can use it all together. Okay, so I'm just going to put a strip of this down. Let's do one strip as an example here. And that white is perfect because this is where the polka dots are, is transparent, but it's going to show whatever's underneath it. So by having white underneath it, it makes the polka dots white, actually, instead of just kind of a cloudy. And so I think they look way cooler because they are white, black and white. I like the black and white contrast. Okay, I am going to cut this strip off. You see why. There are several different ways to make the tabs. Okay, easiest way is just to grab any punch you want. A circle punch is easy. That's always a go-to for me. If I don't have a tab punch, I will grab a circle punch, and I will show you how to alter the circle punch as well if you'd like. So I have a couple different sizes. So let's see. This is a 1 3/4. Doesn't matter. You can make them any size you want, from large to small. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just punch one out. We'll punch another one of the next size. This is 1 1/2. Okay. Put those back over there. Where are the ones? Here's the ones that I pulled out. Okay. And then what?
Square. They can just be square, ladies.
They can be square. They can be any shape you have. Literally any shape you have. They could be heart shaped. I use the scallop punch to do these. I'm just using a circle because if you have any punches at all, most people will have a circle of some size. Circle and a square are the 2 easiest, and they make great tabs. Okay. So here's some circles I already did. And then what you do is score it down the middle. So I'll just put these on my scoreboard and just score down the middle. You don't have to. I just find it easier to get a straight bend, and because the paper and this is on, no, that's on the same paper. It's just easier to get a bend, and then I can do that to make the washi straight. And then my tab is straight, which I kind of like on my page or file folder or whatever it is. Okay, so once you've scored it, So let's see if I don't score this. And it's on paper, not cardstock, which makes it easier. You don't need to score it. If I do it on cardstock, I definitely score it. Okay, so there, and then I would just put this on my file folder and glue right there. So that's the part that sticks up that you grab hold of or that you write on. And that's super cute. However, if you're like, well, these pointy things are going out there and I don't really like them, then I have a solution for that, which makes it look like this. And that's what's sticking up, which is a normal, what you buy in the store, tab. And you just take the circle like this. I fold the circle in half. It's washi. It's going to rebound. Don't worry about it. And all I'm going to do is cut the ends off. And the only reason I folded it in half is so that they're cut at the same distance from the end. And they're cut hopefully straight, but they're cut the same. So then when I open it up, there it is, and they're cut exactly the same. And so then when I put this over and glue down here, now I have, actually on this, I would glue the whole thing. I'll put glue on the top here and then the whole thing on the other side, because both of the top, or I guess they end up being the bottom, both of the bottoms stick to the paper, and then just glue on one side up here because it sticks to itself. Does that make sense? Perfect sense? Okay, so same thing here. You just fold it in half, cut the ends off, and you don't need to crease it, just fold it so you can get the ends together. That's all you need is the ends together.
Has used her butterfly punch for tabs. That's awesome. Yeah,
that works. That's awesome.
She just folds it in half and shows the wing on both sides of the paper.
There you go. That's great. And that's super cute, the butterfly one. So there, but just with any size circle punch or square punch, you can make awesome tabs. You do not need anything fancy, and just some washi. You might not even like the print, but if you like the color, and the color goes with whatever you're doing. Now, maybe you have the tab punch or a tab punch. You can use the tab punch with this. That's what I did with this one. That is this roll right here. There's some tabs. So then you're going to take your washi piece of paper, and this is why I had to cut it, because you're going to fold it in half, and it's this end that has to go into the, and that's going to end up folded anyway because that's the top. So I'm going to fold it and crease it, burnish that down because it'll make it easier for me to work with. So if you have this tab punch, or we can do tabs another day because there's just a ton of ways to make them, but you can use other punches in this exact same way. If it has a shape on it, then you just need a side where it leaves the fold. If you put something in and you just cut it, you're going to cut out one piece of this. So you're going to stick this in, and you're going to go, it's got to get past, you're going to go down below, let's see, there you can see the silver. It's going to go below the cut mark, okay? If I'm up there, it's going to cut the top and I won't have a fold. So I'm going to go just barely below the cut mark, just so it won't cut the top. Can you see? I probably can't see any gap in there, but there is. There's just a tiny gap right there. Just a tiny gap. And I want it to be even all across. And then I'm going to cut that. Oh, I went right down the middle. I should have done it to the side, and then I could have done two side by side. And then when I cut out the tab, I have both sides. It folds in half because I did not cut the top. Does that make perfect sense? So yeah, if I'd put this over here and done one, I could have gotten a second one out there. If you do a whole strip, you can just go down and cut them out as you go. And then if you want to, you can use this as a stencil and either spray over it or use it on the gel plate, or, draw around the inside. You could do that. In fact, I'm going to hang on to that because that will go with one of the others that we do with another option. So, okay, so that is using washi to make page tabs. That is number 4. Let's see here. Yeah, there are lots of ways to make page tabs. It's a great way to use up washi. There are times I've bought washi because I love the color. And then 5 years later, I'm still looking at it because
tape too at the end of your page.
Huh?
You can just do the tape at the end of your page.
What do you mean?
You just fold the tape. Don't put it on the paper itself. Except the end.
Oh, right. Yeah. I like to put it on the paper because I like that extra structure.
Yeah.
I like it to be a little thicker. But if you don't want the extra structure and you just want the washi, so it is more flexible, then yeah, don't put it on. Then a wider one is easier to use. Fold it so you've got something to hang on to. And yeah, punch it the same way. Okay, so that is page tabs. All right, so I didn't tell you saran wrap, but a piece of, well, let's see. You'll see it, and you'll have something that you can do it with. On this, the next one, get these things out of the way. The next one we'll do getting texture with saran wrap. That's not with saran wrap, with washi. Texture with washi. Washi isn't usually a go-to to create texture. It's very smooth. So I'm going to use a little piece of clear plastic, and you could use any kind of anything that it won't stick to. However, oh, look at that. I got it all stuck to itself. It needs to be thin enough and flexible enough that you can move this around and crunch it up. So I wouldn't put it on a page protector or a piece of acetate or something that's not going to bend. So that's why I just use cheap saran wrap, and you don't need a whole lot. You could use actually a plastic bag. It seems like there's always a grocery bag hanging around, whether for scraps or trash or whatever. So a plastic
product bag.
Yes, yeah, product bag. That that would work.
One of those right here.
The cellophane bag that it slides into. Yep,
I hate
that would work. Okay, so here's the texture that we're going to make. So I'm going to grab a washi, and for this one, I'm going to use one that's pretty light. It's transparent, and then it's got black lines on it, and it's actually one that you can color on. So if you put this down on something, then you can just sit and doodle and color in all the parts and pieces. But sometimes I like to use it for something like this, where it's not going to be colored, or maybe I go through and color some parts of it. Come on, Pear. Now, the washi tape that is more papery, more paper-like, works best for this. It works better than the washi tape that is more plasticky. You know how some have more of a plasticky coating or feeling on top, or some are much thicker, and some are much more thin, like paper, like the medical tape paper stuff. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, I know what you're trying to say.
You know what I'm trying to say. I don't know that I'm saying it very well, but you know what I'm trying to say. So this has more of it's a dull paper. You can hear it. It's a dull paper-like finish. This, not that. This, nope. This has more of a very smooth, plasticky, coated kind of feel. The ones that are very thin and paper-like are going to work best for this. Okay, so I put 2 down here, and then I'm going to fold this up, but I don't really want them on top of each other, so I'm just going to fold this one to the center, and then I'll fold it on top of that one. I just want to make sure they don't anyhow, any possible way, get stuck to each other. Okay. Sandy knows what I was talking about. Okay, so I'm just going to crumple it up. Okay, and I'm going to crumple it up some more, because even though I've got this nice and tiny, I found that, washi bounces back. You bend washi, you fold it, you whatever, and then you lay it out, and you can take your bone folder and run over it, and it'll go perfectly smooth. That's just the way washi is. It's what it was meant to do. So to get it to do something different, we really have to crumple it up. So I'm crumpling it up and trying to get it all wrinkly. Now, another washi that works really well for this without using the saran wrap is washi that is backed. The ones that I have have sparkles on them, or they are thick. And thick ones are harder. Okay, see how this is washi, but it is on paper. So if I touch this, it isn't sticky at all. I have to peel it off the paper backing before it's sticky. These type, if you have some of those and don't know what to do with those, they work great for this.
Acetate is thicker, so when you crumple it, it stays crumpled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It made perfect ridges the first time.
Get it? Okay. But the acetate, no, cellophane? Are you using cellophane?
No, I'm using acetate. Well, it's cellophane. It says,
yeah. Okay, yeah. Acetate is too thick.
Yeah,
but the cellophane works. Yeah. Okay, so let me just open this up.
And then I cheated. I had a washi that was wide enough for a big strip.
And I don't want to smooth it out. And now I will use that scrap, that cardstock scrap right there. And now I'm going to peel this off. And I like having the wrinkles and textures there, so I don't want to peel them off.
Inches of craft space, so we're running out of.
So when you put it down on the paper, the key is to not spread it like you normally do. You want to just lay it down and pat it straight down. Don't spread it like that. If you pat it down, you can keep all those wrinkles. If you spread it, if you take a bone folder to it to really get it down, burnish it down there, you will push all those crinkles and wrinkles right out, guaranteed. And then, let me get the other one down too. This is just wide enough for two, so this is we'll do them both at the same time. Oh my goodness. Shouldn't have gone to the edge of the saran wrap. At the edge of the saran wrap, it becomes harder to get off. You stop somewhere in the middle. Of course, it usually just rips right off the saran wrap so easily. It's just doing this because it knows I haven't had any sleep. It's making it difficult. Never done this before. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go, washi. Here we go. All right. There we go. That's how it's supposed to pull off. Don't want to pull out all my nice crinkles and wrinkles and bumps and lumps. This is one time that I do like lumps and bumps. Maybe the only time. And I'm going to even create a few more because I want to have it not go over the edge. Just because I want to use all the washi. I don't want to cut it off. So I'll bring that there, and wherever it, decides to crumple. Okay, I will cut off the ends just so they don't keep sticking to the desk as I'm trying to work with it. Now here's a huge tip. Huge tip. If you take your blending brush and proceed to do this to get ink on it, you will blend all these creases right out. That's what washi does, and it blends out super easily. So don't do that. Just grab your ink pad and go straight to the washi. I don't want it all over. Well, I do have a baby wipe out. What the heck? Just go straight to the washi, and you could do this with any color you wanted. This is kind of a super simple, almost faux leather look. This is not intended to be faux leather. We're going to do that on a whole nother day. We're going to do faux leather, faux suede. But it is almost, it kind of depends on how much ink you give it. If you keep going and going with the ink, you can give it just a little bit. So it just kind of, hits the top. Or you can keep going and get
sticky. I picked another washi that's super sticky.
You can keep going and get down in those ridges and make it much more leathery. And I could let this dry. I could heat set it, and then I could go over it again. See, this one doesn't have as much on it. I could do much more and get down in the grooves with that. But I still don't want to do it with a blending brush, because the blending brush, this one's been drying for a while, since last night. So I can look over this. I want to make it a little darker and get down in some of those grooves. And having some of those grooves that don't get any, that still have that contrast, is a cool look. I could also spray it and then let it sit. But yeah, just don't take the blending brush over it unless you want to get rid of those nice wrinkles and crinkles, because that's what it will do. It will get rid of your nice wrinkles and crinkles. So I do like to use a light washi for this, so that when I ink it, I can see the ink, or a washi that is a color that I can take an ink that I like with it. Maybe it's blue or pink or green or whatever it is, and use that color with the washi, and it will accent it and look really cool. But the more paper-like, the thinner the washi, the more paper tape-like it is, the better it's going to work for this, as opposed to thicker washi or more kind of the plasticky feel. They are much harder to work with on this technique. That is number 5, and that is crumpled washi. No, that's actually, we'll just call that making texture with washi. Crumpled washi on saran wrap, on plastic, whatever you want to call it. That's making texture with washi. Yeah, so like I said, I'm not going to hit any of the normal things that you do. Yeah, all of you use washi in a bunch of ways, and I'm hoping to avoid the things that you do all the time, and maybe give you a couple of new ideas. Let's see, what am I dropping here? Oh, I'm dropping another one. Okay, so here's a super simple one. I know some of you have done some of this, but you can cover things. So let's see, number 6. Okay, so covering boxes. This was the bottom of a box from a bank, had checks in it. And I covered this a few years ago. I didn't like this washi. I was never going to use it, so I covered the box. I can't stand to look at the box because it's like, it's ugly. It's just too much pink. So I'm going to put washi over the top of it and cover it again. I'm not going to do that now, because you know how to put washi on something and cover it. But you can literally cover the whole thing. I use 2 washis here, one with this design and one with that design, but they're the same color or coordinating, whatever it is. One on the inside and then coordinating one on the walls, however you want to do that. So, but you can cover boxes with it. So if you have boxes that are maybe not super sturdy, you got a little cardboard box and it's the exact right size, but it's just a flimsy little box, then what I would do is one of two things. Either I would collage on it, just book pages, magazine pages, something that it doesn't matter how ugly it is. All I'm doing is thickening up the walls and giving it structure. So I would collage all over it, inside and out. When you collage inside and you collage out, you're putting two layers on every one surface. Not every surface, but every wall. Every wall or floor is getting two layers, one inside, one out. And so it stiffens up and gets structure twice as fast. And one layer might work. If it dries and it's still a little flimsy, do another layer. When it's thick enough or strong enough so it's not, it's going to work for your purpose, then you can collage good paper that you like to look at all the time, or rice paper is really nice for that as well, or washi. And if it's a box that's going to get, supplies thrown in it and pulled off the shelf back and forth and, around the place, I would just as soon use washi. Maybe washi that I like the colors, but I'm never, there's some things I love the bright colors, but I'm never going to use them in my projects because I'm just not doing things of that nature. So I can look at not this one, I can look at the pretty colors that I like, but not sit and hold on to that washi for another 3 years. So covering boxes is an easy thing to do and uses up a lot more faster. Love these tags. These were awesome too. So covering boxes. Oh, another fun thing to cover is a pencil. I know we're creative types, and sometimes I use a lot of pencils. Maybe you don't, but I do go through a lot of pencils because I'm always writing down ideas and then I'm erasing something or adding something and reorganizing it, and I go through a lot of paper in that way. But also sometimes I don't want to just rewrite it all, and I don't like everything being scratched out with the pen because I need it kind of to be together. So you can cover a pencil with a pretty washi and make a very pretty pencil, and all you have to do is sharpen it, and it's ready to be sharpened, and it still fits in the sharpener and works just fine. So covering the pencil does not have to be just one piece of washi that goes around it, because you can put one that's thin and goes partly around. Let's see. And then you can put another layer of it. In fact, let me show you. Did it get at the very bottom? Probably. I put these things back in. Okay, this one right here is the one I used for this pencil. And I can tell you that a 1 inch washi, which is what that is exactly perfect to go around a traditional pencil like this. So just traditional yellow school pencils. This is Faber-Castell, but it's still just a number 2 pencil. Got caught in something and squished right in the center. Or maybe there's somebody's tooth. Who knows? Nah, too many. No. Wouldn't be me. I do not chew on pencils. I never have.
Sharpen good with that on there?
Huh?
Does it sharpen with that on there?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. It's just washi, sharpens right off. Yeah. So you can use a 1 inch piece, and that would
gum up your thing.
Say it again.
It doesn't gum up the electric pencil sharpener.
No, I don't know. I haven't put it in the electric one. I have a couple of hand ones in my drawer because I'm constantly just grabbing them and sharpening it again. I like a sharp pencil. So I guess I don't know about an electric one.
Guess I'll have to try
it. Yeah, try it and let me know. Okay, this one I know is not wide enough to go all the way around. So I'm going to start it right at the metal. It's easier to start it there and cut the other end than it is to start the other end and try to cut it level straight at the metal. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that however far it'll go. I know it's not going to go all the way around. Now we'll cut that off right at the end. This is a red and white stripe. It looks like I was going to say a candy cane, but they're swirly. But there's something that's red and white striped like that. What is it? I don't know. Oops, not that. Let's see. Get it started again. Now I have to cut a straight here so it can go. And don't keep those little bits of washi. Throw them away. Unless you have use for them right now. Oh, there is one more thing we'll do that you could use them for right now. But don't hang on to the little bits of washi. Okay, so I'm just going to set that on my desk. And then I'm going to bring this up here. I'm going to go to the opposite side. So I've got that on half of it. I'll go to the opposite side. And in the middle of the opposite side, I will lay it down with that, as you can see right here, just on the metal, but over here. I mean, this is really simple. Easy to do. But if you're giving a journal to somebody and you like to give them a pencil with it, what a cute way to make a matching pencil to go with the journal you're giving them. Even if it's just a little one to carry in their pocket or their purse, you know, for daily thoughts or lists or notes. I always have one in my purse for notes. Okay, and then I'll roll it that way, and I'll roll it back the other way, and then I'll go over it and burnish it with my fingers. Okay, and now it is all the way around. It overlapped itself, and that's fine because it wasn't wide enough to go all around at once. Now this is red and white stripe, and I happen to have blue all over my hands. I happen to have this blue and white stars. So I'm going to take.
I wrap mine diagonally.
Did you? Oh, that's cool too. That's the way you could get the candy cane look with the red and white stripe.
Yeah, and a pattern you could do it with.
Yeah. I'm going to take this blue and white star, and I'm going to go right at the top here.
Margie says she would never hang on to a little bit of washi. Nope.
No, me either. I don't know why. Washi's really easy for just those little bits. That's real easy for me to throw away. Okay, and I let it overlap and then cut it straight. And I'm going to do one more. So if you have a patriotic friend or a vet and you make a little journal for them or a notepad to keep in their pocket or purse, there you go. Stars and stripes forever. So covering pencils. I use a lot of pencils, and plain yellow pencils are pretty boring, but it's just a way to dress them up. Okay, the other thing that is nice to cover, 7, 8, is the phone charger block. And before you roll your eyes, I often have one of these in my purse because depending how long I'm going to be gone, where I'm going, I might need to stick my phone charger in the wall and charge my phone. If you're coming to retreat, you're bringing your phone charger, and so is everybody else. Now, yours will be at your own station, but if you customize it with washi, you know exactly which one is yours. Besides making it pretty, it's just easy to tell which one is yours right away. So this one, I have a transparent washi that has a really nice design pattern in it. And you could use any on this. You could use a really bright color so that you could see it. Bright, pretty color. I also have one in black and white that I really like. And I will do and start again on the second row. So I line it up with the edge on the bottom, and then I'll line it up with the edge on top. And with the width of this washi, I think, yeah, it is 1 inch. If you use a 1 inch washi, it'll go around it perfectly. So this is 1/2 inch. And so I'm putting 2. If I do it straight, I'll have 2 side by side. So when Doug says, "Oh, that's mine," nope, that one's mine. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Cause I'm tired. I brought mine. No, you didn't.
Uh-huh.
I did.
Yep. There you go. And you know yours is customized because theirs isn't. There you go. Instead of having to write your name on it. Okay, so there's my customized wall charger for my phone. All right, so those are the only three things I'm going to talk about covering because I find them either very fun or very helpful. And you can cover anything you want. How are we doing on time?
You got 30 to 28 minutes.
Okay. We have gotten through 8. We may be able to get through this whole other page. If we can, I'd love to get through this whole other page. I don't know how many are on it, but that just leaves 3 or 4 things that I purposefully did not put on here because they require a little bit more time and a little bit more mess. And so I thought one day we could just do those so we have time to do each of them, do them well, and make a little bit of mess. So, okay, let's see. So the next... okay, let's do this one. Let's save that one for last. Let's do it. This one.
And I will say that the washi tape is freaking sticky.
Oh, wow.
The washi tape is on washi. Oh, my God. I could barely get it off the cellophane.
You know what? It's true, though. Some brands are way stickier than others. And some, like over time, because I've had this so long, it's hardly sticky at all. But some are way stickier than others. And I have these that are their stamps. They're postage stamps that you tear apart. And, you know, they're kind of
keep your chargers separate from each other. Yeah, but when they get packed, they get packed. He throws them in.
Yeah.
He goes, I put mine out there to get packed. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And he's
that was mine.
And I'm like,
I know it was mine. Then you get to the hotel and you're like, that's mine. Nope, that's mine.
Yeah.
Okay, the next 2 I'm going to show you in this book. This is actually one I'll show you at a sale. I got one sample just so I could look at it to see if it was worth having. And then when we sell it, we'll do it as a pre-order. And I really, really like it. So
put them together and they can have babies.
That would be really awesome if they could, because they're expensive. But here's another way, and this I'll do in any book, in any kind of book, and don't use that super sticky washi tape, just normal washi tape. But it is.
I must have just grabbed out my super sticky washi tape.
Yeah, really. Masking the edge of a page, and this is a reference page. So a page that you want to turn back to over and over because there's information on it or you made notes on it and you know you want to reference that page and you keep hunting for the page. Maybe you don't want to dog ear it. I don't like dog earing. You know, if it's, you know, a book that I really like and want to keep like this, not just a normal textbook page. So if you mask the edge of the page, then when you look at it, it's super easy to tell exactly where it is. Stands out, go right to it. I don't even have to look at the pages. There's my reference page that I wanted to go back to. Okay, so that's nice, easy, and quick. So the other one is in here as well. And this one, I'm sure you all do some variety of this. But what I see most often is not what's the word? Necessarily permanent or inside. And so just to make you think about, we often put tip ins or tip outs. We'll washi on the edge of a page, and it flips out or it flips up or things like that. But the one I want you to think about here is taking something and washing it. That might not be sticky enough.
Yeah, I reinforce my spines a lot.
Yeah, basically hinging it in. I'm going to do half of it on here. And so instead of a tip in or tip out at the edge, I want to hinge it into the book. And when you hinge it into the book, you just do both sides and it's going to stay there. You can add a page, a whole page into a book, a journal, you can do it in the middle of a book you're reading, a favorite book that you have. One of my favorite things to do as a hinge in is an envelope. And then, didn't need to make that washi so long there. Okay, and then in the envelope, I can put extra ephemera, especially if I'm giving it to somebody. I will hinge in an envelope and put it full of ephemera that they can decorate with, that they can add to the journal. Even if I've decorated it, there's some that they can add wherever and however they like. So to hinge it in, you want to put it on either the book or the whatever you're hinging in, and then fold it in half so that you can bring it up and make sure it's in there good and tight, and then lay it down the other side. Okay, and now you've actually hinged in a whole nother page. So this is an awesome way to hinge in an envelope without
having to cover the naughty parts in a book.
Yeah, without having to use the flap of the envelope to put it, in there to hold it, and then you're trying to get inside the envelope from down here. I will hinge the bottom of the envelope, and the flap is up here. I can put a closure on that flap without having to make it sticky or lick it or anything like that. You can use a little piece of washi, matching washi, to close it, or like one of the circles where we'll just glue the bottom of the circle down and the flap just slides underneath it. So
don't lick any of the journals you send me. Come on, that's
so hinging in. Bye, Cheryl. Oh, now if you want to cover the naughty parts of the book, then just tape this right down. But yeah, so
you're spitting my journal, Marianne. I did enough of that for Charlie.
Really. I want you to have my DNA. So number 10 is hinging something into a journal, okay, or into a book. All right, so number 11, we're going to look at covering. Where did it go? There's a couple. Oh, wow. Oh, did I miss this on the other side? I did. Oh, how did I miss that on the other page? Okay. Good thing I'm so organized. Sitting right there. I could write writing, but it's organized, sitting right here in order.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. You're supposed to have my back, Candy.
I think she's delusional, ladies.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So we're going to cover paper and then do different things to it. So you can cover paper and then emboss it. So let me see. This actually, I'll take that out now. This is one big sheet of washi. And it's a pain in the butt to work with. I've had it forever and I have never used it. And so trying to get it off and get it started, it tore so much. But I did finally get it going.
Now, when you finish, put a piece of like tissue paper under it.
What do you mean?
Wax paper, like parchment paper.
Yeah, okay. Under the edge, you mean?
Yeah, and then when I go to do it next time, it's ready to go.
I just do this.
Yeah, you can do that too. That's a pain too.
It's faster.
I usually have things parchment paper ready.
for me. That's faster. Then I have a tab. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, so this is one big piece of washi. Doesn't have to be. I'll show you something else. We'll do it as well. So then I put this through the embossing machine, and I only embossed half of it. And I'm hoping that I can find an angle. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. I'm gonna get close, close, close. There you go. There's hearts. So you can see it in real life. It's a very cool texture. But there are hearts, and this is one of those texture embossing plates, so it's embossed deeper, but it's embossed hearts on there, and then the other side is flat so that you can see the difference. There's the back, so you can see the difference there. And maybe this wasn't the best choice to use because it is so bright and it has a lot of movement in it. If there was something a little more subtle, like if I had done this one, you'd probably see the embossing a little bit better. So you can use the wide ones. This is a great one for wide washi. And you can line up several of them, and then you can emboss them and use them. That would make a really great card base for you card makers. That's a perfect card base, and then just put something on top of it, and the texture is really awesome. But I would also take this and use it. I'd probably even cut it in half and make 2 pockets out of it in a journal, because that texture would be really cool. When you turn it, there's the pocket. You just have to feel it because it's that kind of, that texture that makes you go, ooh, got to touch that. Okay, the other way to cover it is not covering with one sheet, but covering with a bunch of washi. And this is a really good way to use up a whole bunch of washi that you don't like, because I'm telling you now that it doesn't matter what washi you use. This always turns out. It always turns out great.
I beg to differ. I can do one that looks pretty hideous.
Well, you can try. You can purposefully try to make. I'm not going to do this whole page.
I'm going to purposely try to come out.
I'm going to do a portion, but I would do this whole page because then I would take it and I would a couple of things. You can die cut. Okay, so you could die cut, put dies on there, and put the dies on the. Actually, if I'm die cutting, I'm going to put the dies on the side that the washi's on, so it goes through the top of the washi and through the paper. I don't want it to hit the sticky first. It probably doesn't matter. It probably doesn't.
I did, and it worked fine.
Okay, probably doesn't even matter, but the other way, if you do not have a die cutting machine, you can still do this. This is this butterfly, but I did not put it through the die cutter. I laid it down on here and just traced it and then cut it out. This works really well with images like birds and butterflies, larger things. There's a piece that needs a little bit of glue. The other way that you do this, you do not have to have dies. In fact, if I'm cutting it out by hand, the preferred way is stencil. So if I need a stencil that has a bird on it. I don't even have one. That's what I was looking through all my stencils for, and I could not find one. If you have a stencil, you just lay the stencil. You flip this over to the back, and you lay your stencil on here, and then you just trace around inside that stencil shape of the bird, and then you fussy cut that out. So that's what I did here. You would put the stencil there, trace it around, fussy cut it out, looking at this side, and then when you turn it over, you have your coat of many colors butterfly or bird or whatever. So if you want to make it look really good, then you take all the washi. Maybe you got a bunch of washi you want to get rid of, and you just put things together. Just grab a bunch of washi that the colors don't need to match, but just colors that aren't super contradictory, like pinks and purples. So these florals with pinks and purples would be great. Those pinks. Now, you also need to have some dark and some light. So this is just kind of neutral, natural colors. Gold is going to go with it, always something light. White is going to go, like that, kind of a light green. That's a light as well. And so there's some dark, there's some light. Okay. And so all the colors go, they coordinate. They don't have to be matchy matchy, but they coordinate. Then you're going to get a great look. If you start throwing in, weird things that where you've got blues and greens and purples and pinks and yellows and oranges and then browns and blacks, it will look okay if you put everything in, because it now looks like everything. It's the rainbow, so it looks okay. But if you put mostly this and then I threw in some, brown would look okay, even yellow would look okay. But maybe if I put in some blue or something, I don't know, then it might start looking kind of funky to you. So as long as your colors all go together, coordinate, they don't need to match. Always look at the color, not the pattern. Don't worry about the pattern. Don't care about the pattern. When you look at it, especially when it's collaged like that, when you look at it, you will not see the pattern. You will only see the color. And all you do is take, I won't do the whole thing, but just somebody's going to go, well, how do you even know where to put them? You just take just grab one of these, if this is my group, and start laying it down on my paper. Small pieces, and you just put it everywhere. Now, I find that I grabbed the smallest one here, and I was just going to say that I find that it is helpful to put the larger ones down first, and the wider it is, the smaller piece I tear. Otherwise, you have great big pieces and strips of purple with gold polka dots, and that could literally take up a whole wing. And so it kind of, destroys the collage look. So the larger ones go down first because then they get partially covered, and smaller pieces. This is not very sticky. If it's held down with some others, great. If not, then I may need to stick some glue underneath it. Okay, here's another large one. Large as in wide is what I mean there. So, and I'm okay if it's overlapping. I want to overlap so that nothing is in an order, nothing is organized. They're just kind of laid down there. I don't want them torn straight. I like when it tears kind of skiwampus like that, and I get a weird, triangle, because that looks actually better than, a nice perfect square that's down there.
Paper and fabric too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do this with fabric scraps. We've done this with paper. And, we do it with paper all the time. So we just don't think about transferring some of the things that we do with paper or fabric to washi tape, or some of the things that we do with washi tape, transferring it to paper or fabric. And then we wonder what to do with all the fabric scraps or the washi tape that we've had for years. And we just need to think outside of the box. Be curious. What will this do? What can I do with it? I learned something the other day, and it makes perfect sense. I don't know, maybe, it's not learning something, but more bringing something to light that consciously had not thought of. And that's when you're curious, you are not stuck. You're not stuck in the same way. You're not stuck in the same opinion or the same mode of thinking. And so if you find yourself butting heads with somebody, be curious as to why they think the way they do. You'll have a better conversation. And if you can understand them, it doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but you can understand them and have a better relationship there, being curious. So if you think about it, we're always curious, what will this do with this? And that's why we love Monday Jump Starts, because we experiment with a lot of things, products. And so being curious about those products means we don't have any preconceived anything in our head. We are open to whatever it can do or we can do. So we're curious to find that out. And it's true that it doesn't, you're not stuck in one place, and you don't end up doing the same thing over and over again when you're curious. So I knew there's a reason I'm always saying be curious, but I didn't know how to put it into words. So it was put into words and given to me. And I love that, because that's why I like to be curious, to learn something that I don't already know.
Margie said ski wampus is a technical term.
It is. Oh, yeah. It is technical. It is very technical. And it's very right. Okay, so I have a couple of holes in there I have to fill, and then I'm going to stop this. But
Get that one started.
I'll leave these smaller ones till the last, and so when I have these little holes like that, I just go over that little tiny hole, and it goes over some of the other washi, and so it just adds perfectly to the collage and kind of fills in. So see how easy that is. There's kind of a big hole there. I'll put something else over it as well, but I'm not going to do that right now. But that's how you do it. Just get it down there. And you can pick any colors you want. So if you're doing journals in certain color schemes and that orange and purple is jumping out a little bit, just go over it with one of these smaller ones and let it get broken up a bit so it's not quite so prominent, but it's still, that purple and orange is kind of pretty. That would make that with black and more purple would make a really pretty Halloween. So anyway, that's how you do it. Just lay it down. You can use up a whole bunch of washi, and that's a really good, it's kind of like collaging is very meditative and relaxing to do, because you're just spreading glue. This is the same way, I think. It's just laying down washi and not having to think about it. It's not making a design, not putting it any particular way. It's just laying it down. And so these are the exact same ones that I used for this butterfly. So you can emboss, you can lay the washi. Now you can emboss it like this. That was the other thing I was going to tell you. You can take this and run it through the embosser, and that is very cool. Or you can put whole sheets or a couple of wider strips together and emboss it that way. You can stick this whole thing or this whole thing through your die cut machine and cut out images, or you can take a stencil and flip it over, put the stencil on here. If my whole page is done, then I know it doesn't matter where I am, and I'll put the stencil and cut out birds or butterflies or whatever it is from the back, and then flip it over and see what I've got. Now, when I cut these out, when I cut out some butterflies, obviously I'm going to end up with some little pieces left, little bits and pieces left. And where did
Throw them away.
After you make some little label parts and pieces. Okay, remember the labels that we made a few weeks ago?
I thought you're talking the little pieces that are left for the cutouts.
Oh, no. I'm talking about this sheet. After I cut out,
After
I cut out butterflies, I'm going to end up with this piece of paper still with holes in it everywhere.
I thought you were talking about the confetti. I'm going to say,
oh no, throw away the washi. Throw away the bits and pieces of washi. But I'm going to go, this piece of paper, I'm going to go to those little chunks of paper that is still together, and I'm going to cut out, and I'll just do it from the other side, because otherwise your mind plays tricks and you can't get it straight from this side. But all I'm doing is cutting out these little label, and any size, doesn't matter, any size, whatever that will allow, that little extra scrap that was between the butterflies, cut those out, because these labels that we made a few weeks ago that are so awesome, I'm telling you, if you don't know how to decorate or embellish something, grab one of these labels. They work every time. These labels are awesome, and you can just stack 2 or 3 of them together. That one's 3, and you can make them any size you want. I keep adding scraps and making more of these and adding to the bucket, because I've already used a couple of dozen of them. If you don't know how to decorate or in a hurry or don't know what to do to embellish something, grab those labels They really are perfect. I don't know if you even noticed when we made these on Saturday night. On the front, one of those labels, I just added the 2 stamps. On the back, one of those labels. And because it's butterflies, I just added a little specimen number. I mean, they're perfect. I love those labels. They are so good for so many things. So by doing this, if this is dark color, then I might have it be the back one, and I would ink the edges, or go around them with a black, maybe a Posca pen. Otherwise, I might have them be the second layer. So, whatever the first layer is, probably something solid color, and then that's the second layer, and then put something, small third inside like that. So I've made an inside layer, and I've made middle layers and an outside layer there. It doesn't matter what the size is. You can always match them up with another scrap of paper. And then whatever's left after you cut those out, toss it. Throw it away. That's going to be our new cheer, our new chant. Throw it away. Throw it away. We're going to make crafting enemies. Throw it away. Okay, where's my pen? There's my pen. Let's see. That was 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 14. Got to show you this one. Oh, God, there's only a couple more. I really want to show them to you. 14 is making ruffles out of washi. I won't make it. I will just show you. Here's a wide washi. There's a kind of a standard regular one, and there's a skinny washi. Oh, metallic. I shouldn't have done a metallic. And I just put them in the sewing machine. You don't have to. You can glue them down so that to make sure they stick, and then you can. I don't think that ink stamps very well, and it's just a pain to even try. So I would grab a marker, not the large brush. I want for this. I want the small, the fine brush. This is what I do if I'm not sewing it. Then I would grab the marker, and I would go right down the center, right where I would sew it, and just do like this. And you can make these as long, as close together, as short, as far apart as you want. And you're just putting in faux stitching. And when you just glance at that, it looks like stitching. You've seen that on tags and you think it's stitching, and it's not. So if there's not time to get the sewing machine, or you don't have a sewing machine, or you just don't want to be bothered with the sewing machine, you can always just do hand faux stitching. You can even do zigzag that way, but just a straight stitch down the middle of these. And quite literally, all it is I find it easiest to do it this direction. And let's see, because it can get a little fiddly, and the smaller one is more fiddly, and the great big fat one is more fiddly. The medium normal size ones are the easiest, but I'll use something like the end of my tweezers because they're always here and they're easy to use. So fold this back, I set this on top of it, and just kind of hold it down.
No, now I'm going to have nightmares, Marianne. Don't throw anything away.
Oh my gosh, now we're inducing nightmares. Okay, and that's how you do it. And I like it when it's just kind of, not perfect, because if I'm making ruffles, that's how they would be. And so I just let it. I don't worry about these being perfectly straight. And if you wanted to, you could make it go both directions, but that's way fiddly. I don't even want to bother with that. But you can put it this way and that way and make them close together, and then this way and that way. No, too much work. But this is super easy, super fun, and quick. And so that makes a great belly band, or down the side of a page, or on a cluster, just a pop of color somewhere with a word on it, or across the top of a journal card, or on a tag. I mean, you can think of a million things that you could do with those. I don't need to tell you. Okay, so that is number 14. That is making ruffles out of washi. Washi ruffles. That is 14. Tiny bubbles. Okay, the last group, let's see. There's two things that kind of go together with this, and both very easy. And that is masking off. Oh, no, there is another one, but that's an easy one, and that's quick. Masking off either to color block or to, if you've done the background and then you want to just put some color here and there, you don't want it to, you want to have a clean line. There are times when you want a clean line, and maybe you're going to go back and fill in, or maybe you're art journaling in your art journal and you want to do this, and so then you can write on these lines. That's kind of cool too. I mean, that'd be a fun thing for us to do one day. And so that is super easy. It's another one where you can use washi that you don't like or want to get rid of, don't care about so much. What I was going to use, I must have accidentally dropped it on the floor. Great, so it's not going to get used. But I like that one. I don't want to use that one up. That's kind of bright, and so this one's super wide. So you can determine by the width of your washi how wide your spaces are going to be. So if I do them this wide, and I was doing that hoping that would hold it down, but I don't think it will because it's not very sticky. If I wanted to write on it, I would do a wide one like this because I could write 2 or 3 lines on there in that space. One line on a small one. So if I do that, you know what? Let's do something different than I just did that on the other one. Just did this square color blocking. No, I can't pick that up. It's underneath. All right. Okay, we'll go like that. So this is great to do, again, for card makers. This is a great way to do card bases. And then you put your image or your die cut word or whatever it is on top of it. Super easy. And now, got a blending brush somewhere. This one's already got that on it. So let's do this.
Oh, it's Dr. Green.
Woo! Okay, we're almost done. We need about 3 minutes. If you got to go, you got to go.
No, I just let you know. Oh, it's after 3.
We're close. We're close to being done.
Almost with Poppy. So. Charlie's watching a movie with Poppy.
Aw.
In fact, I don't hear the movie anymore, so I'm sure he probably fell asleep.
Nice. So you might get to stay in here and craft. Okay, so we'll put one color down. I've got 3 colors sitting here, and I'm not even sure that they go together, but we'll find out. Oh, the joy of using whatever ink is on your desk. Let's see. There was another blending brush. Oh, it's over here in my washi. Yeah. And this one. So this one is Uncharted Mariner, and I love that one. I'm so in love with that color. It is really beautiful. And then this one is Villainous Potion.
That's the
Villainous Potion. If you like purple, this is another gorgeous one. And I'm putting them on full, rich, lots and lots of pigment. So, in fact, I've done that on the Uncharted Mariner, but I'll do this one full of pigment, and then I'll do another one that's partial. You see how nice and rich and deep that gets? So keep going and make it all perfectly smooth in there. But so maybe we do one that is half as much pigment. That is really pretty. And And then what if we do one that's even really light? I'm walking into everything up there. That's still really pretty. Okay, so you can get a lot of different hues out of one color. Okay, and then what else is here? Milled lavender. Let's find out about milled lavender with these two. Different shade of purple altogether. It makes this one look mauve. It makes this one look pink purple. Re-ink this one. And if you go very light, get a very nice light color there. Okay, so you could do these and just do every color of the rainbow. Do it all the same color. Do two coordinating colors if you're doing a card base. Sometimes it's just using the colors that that you want it to be, and then blocking out like a geometric pattern. So that's where your texture and your interest is in the pattern. And then when you're done with that, all you do is pull these up. Now this is not very sticky, so it comes up easily. But if your tape is sticky and and even if it's not or you're not sure, I'm going to do it the lid to that one. It's over there. The key to getting the tape up and not ripping up your paper is keeping the tape down low, like pulling it back on itself. So you're pulling it parallel to the paper, not like this, lifting it, straight up so it comes up like that, but keeping it very low so you're pulling it back on the paper. Like I said, this is not very sticky, so it's coming right off. But if it is, then you want to go low and slow. Going low like that and slow, it will peel off without pulling your paper up. But again, this one not being very sticky, and we still got super clean lines. So look at that. And if you have washi that you want to use up, but you just can't bear to throw it away, look at that. Using up washi and getting rid of it, and it actually got used. So you can block out a geometric pattern, put in any colors that you want for a card base. Now, the next one, which is along the same lines of blocking, but it's getting curved lines, and you want to go to a thinner washi and not a super fat one, but a more flexible one. This one should work just fine. And maybe you want to put a sun in the corner, and you'd kind of like a clean line for the sun in the corner. Okay, we're going to have a pink or purple sun because I don't have yellow out.
Cree Rama?
Huh?
Cree Rama? K-R-I Rama come in?
Oh, that's probably Kristen Ramanajan.
Yeah, okay, Kristen.
Oh, hi. Good to see you. Where did the other blending brush go? Was just right in front of me. Right there. Okay, so then you take, and so this is vintage photo. I don't have yellow out, but maybe you wanted to do a sunshine, or maybe you want to block out mountains or something, and you'd like kind of a clean line, and it needs to be curved. That's a little more difficult. And I could draw a line or trace something and get a line, but when I go to ink it, there's no way I can stay in that line. It's going over the line. It just is, unless there's something there to stop it. And so I won't fill in the whole thing because you'll get the idea. But you can curve thin, flexible washi. You could curve it to get yourself a clean line. And you could do that anywhere on anything. Again, more washi used up and thrown away. Love it, love it. Okay, the last one. This one is super easy, and it's a way to use washi frequently. And this is like I didn't have a postcard handy. Candy's got postcards. You could do it on postcards. They're perfect. Some tags, like this tag has bird cages here. On a postcard, it's always got a picture, right? So you find some place in the picture, and I'm looking for. I wanted something thin but kind of dark, but I'm gonna use this photo frame, or they're negative frames, and you can block out, um, not block out. You can frame a picture, and I like them when they're not at exactly straight. And so this is not a great example. A postcard, Candy, if you've got a postcard that this works well on.
I don't know. I haven't seen this. So I'm not sure what you're doing.
But you've got a bunch of postcards in front of you. But you're just going to build a frame for the item on the postcard. And all it does is add some interest right there. And you can make them exactly, the width and to end right there. Or you can let them go over and be more of a, what's the word that my dead brain is not thinking of, not a literal but a figurative, so you've blocked out a frame, you've framed something in the photograph. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a piece of architecture, maybe it's an animal. So you framed it out from the rest of the postcard or the rest of the card, the rest of the tag, but it's not a nice neat structured frame. It's got a little more interest to it, so at an angle. And you can use any washi you want. This is typically a little wide for what I would do this with this, but I do like the fact that it is the negative frames there. I'm looking for something.
The bridge.
Oh, the bridge is perfect. Yeah. Here, let's bring it on. You can see that too. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So she washed it around the bridge. That's cool. Now that postcard has a whole new dimension. Looks way better. I mean, it makes that bridge pop out and become the focal point. So, yeah, that's a little wide, but these thin ones are perfect for that. You just have to look at the color, and is the color going to show up? This one is what I was going to use, but it's not going to show up. It's going to blend right in there with that.
Red Riding Hood washi tape.
It's Red Riding Hood?
Yeah, it's got little Red Riding Hood right there. Flower.
From back here.
Like a cat, but I don't know.
That's funny. From back here, it looked like red and white roses, red and white flowers.
No, it's not. That's what I was saying. That's what I thought it was. No, it's got a little girl on it.
Check this out. Here's another one of the wide washies I have. It's full of mustaches. I know, isn't that awesome?
Oh my word.
It's like 4 inches of mustaches. Emboss that. Yeah, like this is I don't know.
Slides with these.
Huge.
Slides.
Yeah.
Do a slide.
Yeah. Yeah, you could even do like these would be around a slide. Oh yeah. Okay. So see what she did there with the.
I did it with just one washi too.
With one. Okay.
It's text.
So she put down one washi. Oh, there's her charger. I love it.
Yeah, here's this.
And then she did a collage, and then she cut some things out. Perfect.
This is the one the washi stuck to. Don't worry, be happy.
Aw.
Well, I couldn't get all off, so it's in two pieces.
Is that the textured one?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's my tag.
Nice.
There's my topper.
Oh, cute. I like it.
That's all over my the tab. I cut out tab.
Using it as ribbon, the tab, I love the tabs. Using it as ribbon and using it as tabs, you can use up a lot of washi. Look at that. A tag back, decorate it just like you always would, but now it looks like great Tim Holtz paper because it's Tim Holtz washi.
I still don't like this postcard.
So you can take the washi off.
Yeah, I'm going to do
and doing some texture. I mean, I would continue with this. I will take this and I will spray it and I will continue to work with it, and it'll look like more of a faux leather, because all that is just a little bit of ink on it. So I am curious, and I love these. If at first glance it just looks like a ribbon, and that's washi tape.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of these are, you got washi you want to use up. You like the color, but it's not something you'll use in your. It's ugly, or something you won't use in your style or whatever. You're just not into that right now. Do some of these things with them for sure. Before we go, would you put in the chat, everybody, what your favorite one or two or three or whatever of all these things were? Which ones did you like the best? Which ones are you going to try? I am really curious as to, you got to try them all, but what stuck out to you guys? So you've got the tag toppers, like the tag ribbons out of washi. We've got textured paper out of washi. We have tag bases out of washi. I like the black and white one, honestly. We have ruffles, washi ruffles, sewn or not sewn. We have framing out something on a postcard or a tag. We have covering paper and embossing. It's hard to see that one on camera. It always is, but you get that embossed texture. That looks pretty cool. We have cutting out or die cutting out. What happened to our butterfly?
David was throwing it away.
It's on the floor. We have washi tabs, page tabs out of washi. What else? I know there was more things, but we have the blocking out a word. We have the page edge, so you can find your reference page quickly. And we have tipping in, not tipping in. I'm sorry, we're not tipping in. We always tip in. This is hinging something into a book that is going to stay there. Masking to color block, collaging to die cut or trace with stencil on the back and cut out.
Okay, so
what's everybody's favorite?
Kristen's was collage, washing tags, and then Linda's was textured.
Don't forget about covering pencils. And I really liked Candy's
die cutting,
covering your phone charger block.
He was using the thing to hold her glue bottle.
Oh yeah,
collage.
Always on the desk. If they're here, then I'll remember to use them. But they're great for holding. Not only mostly I use them for these. They hold.
Waters was a tag, ribbons, papered rooster. That's Wendy, right?
Yep. Hi, Wendy.
As the ruffles.
All three of these, the Stamperia, the art glitter glue, and the Barely Art glue, they all will stand in washi. So either a little stack of washi or any of these big ones. They're great on your desk. And then the washi's there, so you remember to use it and get rid of it. The washi ruffles.
Yep. Neat texture. Let's see. Dawn's with the color block. Oh, hi, Dawn. You come in, Dawn.
Kristen, you're obsessed with right now. Awesome.
Tara's was a patchwork.
Hi, Dawn. I was thinking about you this morning. I'm so glad to see you. That's awesome.
We have a live schedule every Monday at
noon Mountain Time. Yeah, so Pacific Mountain, Central, Eastern, it's 11, 12, 1, and 2. Yes, so every Monday at 11, 12, 1, and 2, we do Monday Jumpstart. And that's where we focus typically on the using up scraps, paper, fabric, lace, and ribbon. This year, that's what we're kind of focusing on, and forgotten supplies. So washi may not be forgotten, but it's typically something that is not used as much as Well, it's not used as much as I have. I have tons of washi, and I don't use it as much as
Yeah,
God.
I feel that. Yeah.
So and not forgotten supplies, but new supplies. We do a lot of experimenting on Monday, where we will take a product. So, like we got to do this coming up. These little stardust, and got the beeswax that goes with them, and oh, they're amazing. They're so cool. So we'll take a new product like that and we experiment with it to see. That's where we get really curious. What will it do? How will it move? What can we do with it? How will it react? So a lot of experimentation. We're going to do pan pastels coming up. The other thing on Mondays, we do art journaling, and that's typically something new. So not just okay, we're going to art journal. Everybody do something. It's usually here's a new technique. We're going to do this. We walk through it so we all learn something, something new there. Somebody may already know it. That's I can't say it's always new, but stuff like that. That's what Monday is all about. And then Saturday Night Live, we do the second and the fourth Saturday nights of the month. If there's a fifth Saturday, we do that as well. And Saturday Night Live, Laugh and Craft, is where we do all kinds of stuff. We make stuff. We do tell us what to do, so you guys can just roll on the floor laughing at us. It's a lot of fun. We have something fun coming up probably next month. That is a twist on some things we've been doing. So I'm just getting that together now, and I think we'll be able to do it in March. But that'll be a lot of fun. You won't want to miss that one. But yeah, we do a lot of things on the Saturday Night Live too. And then other things are just thrown in random here and there. So it's every Monday, second, fourth, and fifth Saturday nights at 6:00. So it's 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Saturday night. The subscription boxes go out between the 15th and the 20th of the month. So far, they've always been able to go out on the 15th. And so a few days after those go out, we do a live box opening, and we do immediately follow it with a live laugh and craft using the things from that box, some of the things from that box. So we do that live there, and we always put that in the group ahead of time, so that those who are getting the subscription boxes. And don't forget, if you're getting your subscription box and you are able to film yourself doing a box opening, would love to have you do that. Would love to see those. Just hashtag it with hashtag Happy Paper Box. Happy Paper Box. That is the hashtag for the box openings. If an option to that is using the things in the box and then posting photos of the things you made using the items in the box, and same hashtag, Happy Paper Box. I'm going to be taking some of those and putting them on the website. So people come to the website and want an idea of what kind of things have been in the boxes. Is it something that they want to, join in on? They can look at your videos and get your opinions, thoughts about it, see your openings, not just mine. So, Carrie, are you still alive? It seems to me that Carrie probably fit right in, didn't she?
Yeah, she I meant to tell you, she got Julie. Julie said something about her mind was running, and she go catch it or something.
Way to go, Carrie. That's awesome.
You got it in there, so
I love it. I take it that means you felt comfortable enough to just jump right in. I love that, Carrie. So glad that you're here. Hopefully you've already joined in the Happy Paper People Facebook group. If not, run on over there and do that. Carrie, in fact, will you say if you have or if you haven't? Do we need to grab the link for you?
We already posted the link earlier. So.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Monday, 11, 12, 1, and 2. Saturday, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, Penny. Perfect. Yep, Carrie is a sister. And Kristen is a friend of Sandy's. That's how Kristen came in, from Sandy Rath. So she's a friend of Sandy's. So we know she's a sister too.
Can't be friends with that woman. She's crazy.
She's high and crazy. We tease
she's
her.
too free with her cookies.
She's a little too free with her cookies. Oh, you guys have to come to retreat so that you can learn about the cookie inside joke. Oh my goodness. Sandy's got some cookies. Telling you.
Sandy says, Carrie, don't be scared. Come on back.
Yeah. Oh man, we do still have a couple spots open on for retreat. We have somebody that is not able to go. That spot is now open as well. So if you have thought about it, if you have considered it, if you want a week of laughing so hard that your sides ache and leaving with some amazing sisters forever and lots of fun in between and lots of goodies to take home.
Yeah, I think Sandy laughed so hard she threw it back out. I think that's what
she did. And Candy was not feeling well, so she was wearing a mask and she was laughing so hard she's choking in the mask. And everybody's sides hurt, so we just made them laugh more. But yeah, so much fun. I'm so glad you'll be back, Carrie. Don't know if Marianne saves it or not. What? Saves what? Sylvia! Cookies that get you high. They will be wrapped in washi. Oh, that's funny. No, Sandy's cookies at retreat. That's the thing. Sylvia, I did one just for you.
Is there a way to save chat? Well, you have to actually
give it. It takes it a bit after it closes. It might take a day, but then the chat pops
back up. You have to actually copy it and paste it somewhere.
Right. Else. But if you come back in tomorrow and look at the video on replay, the chat will be there, and you can read the chat. Yeah. Yeah, and Sandy's only high because her back is still so bad that she's taking all those pills, but she gets her injections this week. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that's get rid of the evidence. No CW, but it will save as part of the video and you can yes.
Yeah, it just takes a while for the chat to show up.
Yep.
It won't show up right away. It takes a couple hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't see it today, if you want to come back in tomorrow, it'll be there. Carrie, oh yes, you're in Canada. Well, heck, you're just above Don Marie, who's in North Carolina, and Tennessee. That's Penny. They're all coming to retreat. Would love to have you come to retreat. I don't know if it's cheaper to fly across Canada or fly straight down to the US and then fly across the US. You might check that out. If it's cheaper to go across Canada within country, go over to Calgary and then just take a little hop down with Glynis. She's coming down from Calgary. If it's cheaper to fly across the US, then just take a hop down like to North Carolina and then come straight over from North Carolina with Don Marie. We would love to have you. That'd be so fun. Julie screenshots chat sometimes when she wants to remember something.
Yeah, you can also copy it and paste it into like Word.
Yeah.
Hit copy and paste it into Word. It'll say
Sandy, you got to get your happy where you can. That's why she comes to the HPP retreat, because we make her happy. We have peanut M&Ms.
Are you laughing as much as me that you are close to North Carolina?
Well, yeah, not that she's close to North Carolina, but she's at that end. She's at the east end. And so, I mean, she could hop down to Virginia or Washington, D.C. or something up there, Maryland or New York even, whatever, but anywhere on the East Coast. I'm just saying, if you pop down to North York,
avoid New York.
Avoid New York. Yeah. I would, I was just thinking it would be fun to travel with somebody else, HPP. So it's very expensive to fly in Canada. So going like from Ontario over to Calgary is very expensive. Yeah, I've never checked out flights within Canada, so I don't know. So I wonder if it might be cheaper to come down to the US and then go across. That's like saying you're close to San Diego. I am, Glennis. I am close to San Diego. I'm within driving distance. In Arizona, San Diego was like, hey, you want to go to San Diego? 5.5 hours. Let's hop in the car and go. That was
Like 8 hours for me.
When it's 118 in Arizona, you'll find everybody in San Diego. That is the place. Always in the 70s, perfect, beautiful. Got to get out of here. It's way too hot. We're heading to San Diego. Now that I moved to Utah, a little farther, but yeah, but still a short flight or a long drive or a short flight. Oh, yeah. That one thing about living in Arizona where I did, Dawn Messinger lives really close to where I did. We were like 3.5 hours from Mexico, multiple ways, multiple directions, multiple parts of Mexico, 5.5 hours from San Diego. I mean, it was just 2 hours north. We were in ski country, snow and skiing, but yet, right in the heart of Arizona where it was dry. And
hi, Toby. Toby put the butterfly out of washi.
Hi, Toby. Yes, that's that one. So, yep, we collaged on the paper, and then you can take a stencil and put the stencil down and just trace inside it and fussy cut it out if you don't have a die cutting machine. That's what I did, so that everybody could do it if you don't have a die cutting machine. Or you can, I use this die, I just put it around it and traced it. Or I could put it through the die cutting machine. It would cut out all the little bits and pieces, but that's a lot of little itty bitty bits and pieces. So I really like doing it with a bird where you just have the outline, the silhouette of the bird. It looks really cool. Lots of different butterflies work well on that too. So it's a long way from Calgary, like 2,000. Oh, holy cow. 2,000 miles. The next retreat, the first retreat coming up is April. It's April 21st to the 28th. And then the next one is September. And it will be September 22nd to 29th. So I know that there are a bunch of people that can't make it in April that are already putting money away to make it in September. We do it at the end of April and the end of September. Ideally, the last week of April, the last week of September. April, we had to bump up 1 week just because of the hotel situation. But you can count on that always, the spring and the fall. And it's right. It's no longer cold and it's not hot yet. It's a perfect time in April. And in September, that's late enough to be past the heat, even if we had a hot spell come in late and it's before it gets cold. It's just perfect weather. And that's why those 2 times, because the weather is absolutely perfect. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. There's a lot of people that are, looking at September and putting a little bit away each month to make it happen, knowing that they have to plan ahead. And that's okay. That's the way to do it. You'll have the time of your life. There's nothing like it. You'll leave with lots of goodies and just have so much fun. There's a lot of stuff you don't have to drag over with you that we'll have here for you to use. It's just fun. It's the most amazing people. Perfect weather in Canada in September. Yep. It's probably very similar, I would think. That would be great, Carrie. If there's any way to do it in September, that would be awesome. But yeah, there are a couple of spots left in April. If anybody is thinking that they might be able to make it in April, couple spots still available in April. Otherwise, if you're thinking September, pretty soon I will put out the info on September so that those people who already know they want September and are, have already made a plan and are, putting away a little each month to do that, can lock in their spot for September. So we've got the date. The contract's already signed with the hotel. So we'll put that out pretty soon. Ooh, what are you cutting now?
I got this new die and I was ready to cut
Oh, cool.
My pokey tool go.
Your pointy tweezers were great.
I don't want to bend them.
I'm
So
waiting
you're
to
going to bed now?
Hmm?
Are you going to go to bed now?
Oh, heck no. After being with you guys, I got a second wind. Hopefully I'll be tired by tonight. I'll be what, 36 hours? I don't know. No, 20. Yeah. I guess I'd be 36 hours. Oh, that's cool. Oh, a little bit of spray on that. That'll look cool.
Now I need to circle because I wanted to circle too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where'd the circle go?
Of course.
Yes, please tell Carrie about the subscription box. Awesome. Carrie, let's see here. I'm going to do this. www.hpp. Here is the website.
You can put it across the screen.
The website is still under construction, and I am really working on it. One day it's just gonna pop up and everything's gonna be there. So but we'll do kind of a grand opening with a discount code, as soon as I have that all ready to go. But what is there right now is the subscription box. The picture that you see is not the actual box. It is a mock-up of what a box might be. I now have the images for past boxes, so I'm going to put them up there so that you can see past boxes. But let's see. So if you go in and you see that and you want to join in with a subscription box, then you go ahead and you put it in your cart. But Carrie, if you want to, put it in your cart, but send me a private message before you check out, because right now it is set to mail only to the US. And because of the cost of shipping to Canada, I handle, we have several in Canada, and I handle them separate. I handle them differently to save you some money on shipping. Okay. So I will tell you how we do that for all of our Canada friends. And yeah, otherwise you'd probably pay like, I don't know, $40 shipping every single time, and that's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. So yeah, we're getting more and more in Canada too. Lots of new Canada friends. Julie, have fun on your date. That sounds great. It is tomorrow in Australia. Julie's in Australia.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, Julie. Toby, don't get depressed. It's only temporary. You've got some things to work with. So you've got some things to do something. That's better than not having anything at all to do anything. If you can do anything crafty at all, then that's awesome while you're there. And you know that it's temporary. So just tell yourself, I just need to sit back and relax and let my foot heal. And oh, okay, Carrie, I don't know if you heard me say, you lost it for just a minute. I don't know if you heard me say, and I can private message you later, or private message me. I can give you some more information. But if you decide you want a subscription box, you can put it in your cart, but don't check out, because I handle it different for everyone in Canada to save you on shipping. Otherwise, shipping is just absolutely ridiculous. So I have a way of handling it for you to make your shipping the same as everybody else's. Okay, start shredding your sheets. There you go, Toby. She grabs a sheet and rips off a snippet roll.
I mean, sorry, still got on my sheet.
Yeah, she did. She took an old sheet, an old pillowcase, and made some sorry silk out of it, which was awesome.
Wrapped it. Filled it. Coffee stained it.
Yes, shipping is terrible, but we have a way that so far is working that everybody's paying about this. Yeah, the same as everybody in the States. So as long as this works, I'll keep doing it this way. I'm more than willing to do it because I totally understand. I used to live in Alaska, and it's kind of like Canada, where whatever shipping is here, times it by 4, and that's shipping to Alaska. Same to Canada, and it's just ridiculous. Ooh, is that Tim Holtz paper?
Yeah.
I love that paper. That's very cool. The exchange rate is terrible too. Oh, I know. Not so good. All right. Well, I could just hang out with you guys all day. I can come in dead as a doornail and it doesn't matter. I always get a second wind after hanging out with you guys. So, oh man. Everybody have a wonderful evening. It is Monday. Let's see, what is the date? I know Happy Paper Boxes are going out soon. So, yeah. If there's anybody that is not already in on the subscription and wants to get in, because we're already past the first of the month, which is when the billing cycle is for the subscription boxes, it needs to be handled a little bit differently. So private message me if you want to get in, because you still can. And we'll handle that. But they're going to go out pretty soon. In fact, that's what I need to go work on this afternoon, is getting the boxes set up, the boxes put together. The boxes snapped together so that they're ready to load up and go. So
Bye.
Thank you for a thumbs up.
Marianne, that's it. Great
Marianne,
fun.
Candy, thank you, Candy, for being here with me. Thank you for thumbs up, Sylvia, and comment. You know what? When you
Sandy, I get it.
Comment, and when you do a thumbs up, that is important, because that's what YouTube uses to say, okay, people in that community think that this has value, and then they push it out to others that watch the same type of videos that we do. So that's how it gets out to new people, so that we have new people join our community. So we really, really do appreciate when you take time just to hit the thumbs up button and to hit subscribe and to comment. And in your comment, leave hashtag 1,000 subs, because we are getting close to 1,000 subs. I know we're over 800, and we're going to draw and give that away soon, real soon. All right. Bye, Tara. Bye, Sandy. Bye, Sylvia. Bye, Julie. Bye, Toby. Who else can I see? Bye, Carrie. Bye, Glynis. Everybody else already gone. That's who I'm seeing. Goodbye, ladies. Goodbye, ladies. That's what Toby's comment made me think of. Goodbye, ladies. I'm going to leave you now. Thank you, Candy. I'm going to leave before I really do something
crazy.
Yeah. Bye, Penny. Love you guys. See you in the group.
Bye.